Kaepernick. Batted in the air. Intercepted at the 1-yard line and run back to the 12-yard line.
Right out of here, you're going to see Walter Thurman. I think Kaepernick thought this was man coverage. It was not. It was a zone. So Thurman was able to come off his guy and come back and deflect that ball, leading to a huge interception.
The league said he shouldn't have been flagged. From the 19-yard line, Kaepernick's going to air it out deep, and it's going to be picked off at the 50-yard line by Richard Sherman. Sherman out of bounds at the 25.
Thinks he's a big reason why he didn't go higher in the draft. He was told that Harbaugh had negative things to say. I don't know who's going to block these guys.
And Kaepernick throws, and it's going to be picked off at the 32-yard line. This is Cam Chancellor to the 2.
He plays like this every week. He has been something. Cam.
2nd and 10. Penny tipped, still in the air, and intercepted. 7 turnovers. They had 5 last week against the 49ers.
Well, this bounced right off the head of Brad Meester, the center, and it bounced up again right there as Wagner tips it really to himself and lays out for the athletic intercept.
3rd and 5. 8th play of this drive. Henny intercepted. Cam Chancellor. And the big man motors downfield. Like a linebacker out there. This is a big man.
3rd and 5 from the 18 of Seattle. Ben Tate in motion. Pass is incomplete. Maybe not. Seahawks tipped ball, and they come away with the interception. Earl Thomas. Looked like 4 different. Incomplete.
Well, KJ Wright's the first one to get his hands on it, making the break. Then Daniels has it. Then Cam Chancellor pops it up.
And that
looks like an interception.
After a Seattle timeout, 3rd and 4. Sean has it, throws, and it's intercepted by Richard Sherman. He's going down the sideline. He has followers, and not just on Twitter. Touchdown Seahawks.
That is a bad decision by Matt Schaub to throw that ball in that situation.
And that's the 3rd this year.
From their own 20-yard line, Fitzpatrick back to throw, time, throwing, and intercepted at the 42-yard line by Earl Thomas. You were talking about turnovers, and Ryan Fitzpatrick, in the course of your career, you've turned the ball over. Fitzpatrick going to go deep down the sideline. Intercepted by Richard Sherman.
Patrick used that one word, assume, that he thought the double move was going to get some separation for his receiver. Instead, Richard Sherman becomes the receiver, and Nate Washington becomes the defender.
Carson Palmer, 6 out of 7 here in the first quarter. Going to go long. Fitzgerald tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Earl Thomas.
Now, there's some separation here. Larry Fitzgerald stacks him. That's a great route, and an underthrown football. That's an interception all day long.
Big play here for the Cardinals to try to get something moving at 3rd and 5. Palmer off his back foot. It's intercepted. It's Brandon Browner, and Browner is going to take it down inside the 10 as he trips at about the 5-yard line.
They're going to come here and here. Irvin comes around. College can't get him. Palmer takes a hit. Throws the football up for grabs.
Roger Saffold in the game, 76 at tackle. He's coming back from an injury. They're limiting his time. Now they protect as Clemens fires, and it's intercepted. Bruce Irvin comes away with a pick for the Seahawks. And Irvin's out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
What an excellent play by Bruce Irvin, who had 8 sacks last year as a defensive end.
Adjustment for Austin and Stedman Bailey, the other draft pick, the 3rd rounder out of West Virginia. Trying to get adjusted to an NFL offense. Clemens' throw is intercepted right into the hands of Richard Sherman, who's picking up blockers as he gets across midfield. And Sherman with a good block by Chancellor, pushed out by Clemens at the 25-yard line.
at the top of the screen. Austin Pettis against free access coverage. Just turned right out of the break. Ball needs to be thrown accurately. It's high and outside, and it just looks like these receivers aren't on the same page with their backup quarterback. It's understandable.
On 2nd and 9, Ponder from the pocket. Intercepted! Bobby Wagner. That is the 14th interception for this Seattle defense and their second takeaway today. Another interception, running it back for a touchdown, Walter Thurman.
Seattle defenders, they're the best secondary in the NFL. Here's Walter Thurman. His eyes are going to be turned right to the quarterback. Watch him jump the route.
Tipped, and another interception. Clinton McDonald, who recovered a fumble in the opening series of Ponder, has a deflection.
On 1st down, pass for Crabtree is picked off. Byron Maxwell. And Maxwell on the return is going to be brought down by Bruce Miller inside the 5. Well, that's his first.
No, Maxwell, he turns and makes a play on the ball. It's just an excellent job on his part. Again, a 4-man rush going for Cruz. Maxwell made the interception, and he stepped out of bounds. Byron Maxwell with his 2nd interception in as many weeks.
Maxwell just outfought Victor Cruz for the ball. Now, I'm sure the Giants are going to be talking about a lot of contact there, but that's how these Seattle corners play, and that's a beautiful play by
Remember that, and he was flabbergasted. And so moves the Giants back in a 2nd and long. Manning actually has time going against Richard Sherman, and that does not end up very well. Sherman with the interception. That's his 5th of the year, and Manning's 2nd of the game. 3-man rush. Still pressure on Manning. Low around trying to unleash it, and he does. And it's going to be picked off again by Richard Sherman, his 2nd of the half, his 6th. Giants with 81 total yards looking to get back in the game here. Still down by 2 scores, and that's picked off by Seattle. Maxwell. Oh, man, what an interception. The 4th of the day for Eli Manning.
Former player in front of this defense had talked about the commitment to punishing people, and they've been punishing people ever since.
Manning going for the corner again. Sherman. Thomas off the...
Sherman, again, out-competing Nix. And then watch Earl Thomas. When you hustle, good things happen. Look at the concentration, bringing it in, and then tap, tap, tap. Gets 3.
Palmer, end zone. Tipped it in. Did he hang out of the end zone? Yes, interception. Seahawks for Cam Chancellor, who runs it out. Keep his feet in.
Yeah, they have 2 bad plays by Rob Hausler, and that one just...
Another Seattle interception. This time it's Richard Sherman.
Make a play. Larry Fitzgerald late getting off the line of scrimmage, but you can't...
In trouble, tipped and intercepted. It's Malcolm Smith. 3rd interception of the game for the Seahawks. All the way inside the 5.
Seahawk defense.
And number 25 for the season, adding to their NFL lead. It was Chris Clemens. Palmer floating one in the end zone. Right to Richard Sherman. His 2nd interception. One back in St. Louis. 2nd and 14. Clemens. Can't find anybody. It's intercepted. Malcolm Smith. He is going to have a touchdown. 27th interception by this Seahawk defense that leads the NFL. Awesome. On 2nd and 1, Clemens intercepted. It's Byron Maxwell with his 4th pick of the year.
Brandon Mebane
throws it off his back foot, and another hope and a prayer for Kellen Clement.
Kaepernick is going to be picked, intercepted. A terrible decision and a terrible throw.
For the 49ers, turnovers on.
Kaepernick, end zone, Crabtree, broken up, picked off. This game is over. There's not many guys who can make a play on this ball. Richard Sherman, who you said he was a wide receiver at Stanford. He's out of position, but he's able to turn enough and get his left hand on that.
Now 3rd down and 7. They're coming after Manning. Pass is too high and picked by Chancellor. Intercepted by Cam Chancellor.
One-on-one, Joe. Julius Thomas. He's trying to get down the middle, and an errant throw by Peyton.
Manning gets hit. Ball up for grabs. Picked off by Smith. Malcolm Smith. All alone. No flags. Touchdown, Seattle.
Orlando Franklin, he just drives him right back into Peyton Manning. Ball comes up.